WEC Le Mans was released into the arcades in 1986 by Konami. It was the first racing video game to depict the 24 hours of Le Mans. Being that the game only has one track, it's split into 3 sections, during which the time of day changes from day to dusk, dusk to night, and night to dawn. The deluxe cabinet to this game was quite the sight. The front of it actually looked like a real prototype C racing car, but that's not the party piece of the cabinet. Oh no. This thing moves left and right when turning, but even better than that, it actually spins 360 degrees when you crash or spin out during gameplay. The steering wheel also has full force feedback, giving the sensation of actually driving. Sadly, the game is really difficult due to the extremely tight time limit and the fact that even the slightest touch to another car will send you spinning or even worse, somersaulting into the air.
Driver, retire to the pit.
Imagine Software were responsible for the home ports, but how were they? Let's start off with taking a look at the ZX Spectrum version. Now in stills it may look like a Tiger Electronics LCD game, and in motion it kind of looks like that too, but that's okay because this is actually a pretty good port. For a Spectrum, the track movement is rather smooth, as is the control of the car. I also think the draw distance is pretty impressive. There is a lot to see at the sides of the road, which can be seen way off into the distance. This is great. In fact, the only thing that isn't great is the stupid push-up to accelerate and pull back to brake. Yeah, I know, this was the standard for computer racing games, but that doesn't make it right. Turning a tight corner while trying to pull back to brake is horrible. Saying that, I do appreciate that the gear defaults to low after every crash. Here we go with the Amstrad CPC version, and this is even better than the ZX Spectrum port. The graphics are far better designed and run at an even smoother rate once you get some speed up. I also feel that this plays better with more refined controls than the Spectrum port. We even have the somersaulting crashes in this port, and they look great for a CPC. I've got to admit, this is mighty impressive. Next up is the Commodore 64 port, and so far, this has the best engine sound effects. Just a shame everything else is awful. Just look at this mess. The game looks as if it's glitching out with those horrible lines across the road. The roadside objects are pretty sparse, and when they do show up, the scale of them is way off. Then there's the horrible controls, and the way the enemy cars drive straight into the back of you, causing you to constantly crash, yet there's nothing you can do to avoid this. Yes indeed, WEC Le Mans on the Commodore 64 is crap. Finally, here is the MSX port. Yes, that's right, there were only a few 8-bit ports ever made. Sadly, all images of the MSX version on the net are messed up tape-to-disc images, so the game is glitched no matter what type of MSX computer you play it on. Well, that is unless you know the pokes to fix it. As you can see, this is a port of the ZX Spectrum version, but now running a little smoother. It's just a shame I can't show you the game working properly. Okay, and let's take a look at all those versions of WEC Le Mans running side by side.